James. The drama never seems to end, but this time he's clapping back at some haters. He's addressing his old palette being sold in stores such as TJ Maxx, and he's also maybe admitting to that BBL everyone's accusing him of, all while spending time with Tana Mongeau's best friends, talking about Jeffree Star's yak farm and a celebrity whose team talked smack about him. Yeah, I know you guys, we have a lot of stuff to get into today. Now, before we get into anything, I want to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes and members across 150 countries who come together to find inspiration and take the next step of their creative journey, and you could definitely be one of those people. There is plenty of things to explore on here. I am always getting sucked into watching something new on here, from a recipe video, a celebrity video. I mean, there's content from influencers on here, celebrities. There's just so much on here, all different categories. Obviously, cooking is my personal favorite, as I've said to you guys before. They've got videos on editing, camera work, all things music, so much. Tons to explore on here and so much to learn. You will for sure find something that suits your interests on here, just like how I have. And the best part is Skillshare is ad-free, so there's no interruptions while you're learning, and they have new premium classes that launch each week. So there's always something new to discover. Their entire catalog is also now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. So check out Skillshare, the link will be in the description, and the first 1,000 people to use this link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. The link will be in the description, like I said, and I want to know what you guys are watching on there, so click the link in the description and let me know in the comments. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Once again, check out that link and let's get into the tea. First, let's start out with this BBL gossip. People have been speculating that James recently had a booty lift or something back there added, because he's been looking really sculpted and he's definitely been showing it off more. Posting in raunchy outfits at Coachella, bikinis. He has wanted people to see what's back there. And with all the comments speculating a BBL, it looks like maybe he's finally admitting to it. He posted a TikTok and people felt like it was him actually fessing up, or maybe. Someone said, so he admits it. And he said, admits what? So I don't know if he's just playing into it or what the deal is. Now, if you don't think that was him fully admitting it and more so taking it as a compliment, like, oh my God, thank you. You guys think I had surgery? I don't know, you guys. But he did do a collaboration this past week with Tana's BFFs, Amari and Mario, which is so interesting that they're close friends, because Tana literally cannot stand James whatsoever. So the fact that her friends are friends with James is so interesting to me, and she just seems super upset anytime she ever hears James's name, and James knows that Tana doesn't like her, so it's a mess. But he did a collab with them and they did Truth or Drink, and one of the questions was literally, what have you had done? Like, what work have you done to yourself? And he was definitely egging on the speculations of that BBL with the way he was partially answering and then decided to just drink.
Have you ever had any surgery or work done?
What's your definition on work?
I've had Botox and lip filler, and I've also had LASIK eye surgery.
And what? And what? The shot's getting closer and closer to you.
And that's it for me.
Oh, is it?
Is that so? Come on, Rumpelstiltskin.
That it levitated.
You're taking it. Oh, it's like feeding your kid medicine.
Speaking of this collab though, there was a lot of tea spilled and drama brought up, sorta kinda at least. I mean, anytime James is hearing the word Jeffree Star or it is brought up in front of him, it's kind of like, oh my God, like, because we know what happened between them during their quote unquote friendship. So it just feels like there must be a shiver that goes down his spine when he hears the name Jeffree Star. And it seems like he kind of keeps up with Jeffree via social media, at least like he sees what Jeffree is posting or he hears about it in some way, because when they were answering the question as to which YouTuber needs to retire and Jeffree's name was brought up, he said that he was kind of sort of like already out of the YouTube world and that he's mostly focused on his yak farm.
YouTuber do you think desperately needs to retire?
Oh God.
Like Jeffree can retire, right? Miss Jeffree Star?
You chose the right channel to say that.
I mean, he's.
Oh, right.
Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
I think. Well, I mean, he's making hundreds of millions of dollars. Has his
Yakking it
yak
up.
farm.
Yeah.
Select.
So James clearly knows what is going on in his old bestie's life to some degree. And that's not really tea, but it's just like anytime those two names are in a sentence, I'm like, oh my God, throwback. But for the real tea, the tea that I need to know your opinion on, because oh my goodness, I just need to know who the celebrity is. I don't need to know, but I'm just very curious, as I'm sure a lot of other people are. But in this video, James was asked a question about like the worst person you've collabed with. And he said that it wasn't the celebrity directly, but he had a very bad experience filming with a certain somebody during COVID, where this person, their team, ended up talking bad about James after the collab, and James saw footage of it. So yeah, awkward. So he goes further into the story during the Truth or Drink video. He shares that this was during COVID, so they were filming a virtual collab. He was on Zoom with the celebrity the entire time they were filming the collab, but he wanted his footage and the celebrity's footage to both look the same in his YouTube video. So he sent them a camera and an SD card, and they filmed the collaboration on their end wherever they were filming, and James filmed at his house. And then when he finally got the camera back and watched the footage, he saw that the person's team talked bad about him once him and the celebrity hung up on Zoom. Like they just immediately started going da 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 James da da da, like making fun of him. Oh my goodness.
Who's the worst person you've ever collabed with?
James Charles. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
I love you. Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I really want to hear your answer.
I have to take a shot for this.
Oh, come on. Taste it.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess that!
Really?
I was gonna guess that.
I can't go into detail, but it was just.
That answer is.
You know what I will say? I really think the biggest problem was not the person, it was their team. It was a virtual collab. We looked at the footage. As soon as we hung up the Zoom call, their team started talking about me and handed us the footage.
Like they didn't realize that that was on.
What did they say?
It was super, super disappointed. The person did apologize on behalf of them and the team. I really don't think that the person was even involved enough to like understand what was happening, so I don't blame it on them. But yeah, it was.
Did you say something like, hey, by the way, like,
And the fact that James saw it, I mean, oh my goodness. Like clearly he confronted the celebrity about it because the collaboration never came out. This whole thing is super awkward. And he said that the celebrity apologized. I mean, I can't even imagine reaching out to a celebrity and being like, hey, so like your team, I saw what they said. Like, oh my God. I think I'm just one of those people that would have just put the collab on the internet and been like, and never talk to that celebrity again. I don't know, you guys. But I also could be, it depends on the person. I would be like, probably go off on them, but I can't even imagine what was going on in his mind. And I know everyone has their opinions about James, but I think if you put yourself in that situation, that sucks so bad. I mean, seriously, so bad. Now, speaking of stuff that sucks to see, people thought James was going to be really hurt that his old Morphy palette has been pushed into stores like TJ Maxx. And he's been tagged in a lot of these TikToks and tweets showing it off in the stores. And he decided to make a TikTok responding to everyone who thinks he should be ashamed or embarrassed that this is what happened to his palette.
I've been tagged in this video hundreds of times as if my palette being sold in TJ Maxx is supposed to be super embarrassing. Maybe I'm weird, but like, I don't see it that way. In fact, I honestly think it's like really cool, low-key. This palette is 4 years old. If you really think about it, most makeup products launch and are popular for like 4 minutes. So the fact that 4 years later people are still talking about this palette is a literal miracle. Like, millions of people have gotten their hands on this palette, which is the biggest blessing that I could ever ask for. Nothing can be popular forever, so of course, years later, it's gonna be sold to stores like this because the brand's gotta get rid of the stock. That's just how business works. Now, whether you love me or hate me, you can get a great formula for a super, super affordable price, so who cares? Like, I'm done. My contract is up. I bought my house with this palette. I bought my parents a house with this palette. My makeup line I've developed with the money that I made from this palette. I'm forever grateful for what this palette did, but I've moved on, and so should everybody else.
I will say the reason it ended up there is a mix between Morphy's downfall and him not working with them anymore due to them dropping him for his scandals. Now, obviously, I've made a ton of videos going in depth on what those scandals are and about what has happened between Morphy and James and the things that he was seriously in trouble for that really impacted his career and his relationship with Morphy. But James continued to respond to people in the replies of this TikTok. Somebody said, "Babe, it's obviously bothering you if you felt the need to make this." And he said, "Babe, use your brain. Just because someone is speaking about something doesn't mean it's bothering them." And then he brings up the fact that he is working on a makeup line of his very own, and it will be launching soon, hopefully. Someone said, "Drop a new one." And he said, "My makeup line is hopefully launching soon." Who knows when it's actually going to happen? Apparently it's going to come out one day. I mean, every time he gives an update on his Instagram story, it feels like it is getting pushed back and back and back and back. And I don't know who is going to buy this makeup collection unless he comes out with some revolutionary product. I said this in my last video talking about this makeup line, that unless he comes out with a product that is so revolutionary in the beauty community that people are like, I heard about the James Charles, I decided to go out and get it just so I could review it. Like, unless it's one of those situations where people are just hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it, and they're just, you know, going out to buy it because they heard so many good things about it and it is so unique. Unless it is that, I don't know what he could do to get people to really, really buy his products like they would have back a couple years ago, like in 2018, 2019. But I definitely want to know what you guys think about this, everything we talked about today, who you guys think that celebrity is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.